Not Warner. Not Warner Brothers. The other guys. Hanna-Barbera, who you hate, Jim.
I hate
I feel like
Hanna-Barbera.
I'm like one of their worst characters this week on the show. I don't know why. I just keep being like, oh, see you later, guys. Oh,
Being
here we go.
being the worst Hanna-Barbera character is like being the most racist Aryan Nation member.
That's knowledge I'm gonna have forever now.
Why are you chopping down trees? Fully formed.
I'm playing Don't Starve, and you have some serious static shit coming through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Like it's a hiss, like maybe your gain is up too high, or...
Gains?
It sounds like someone's taking a shower behind you. Gain. G-A-I-N. Audio gain.
Oh, I know, but I don't have a gain button.
Yeah, you kind of do. You'd have
I've never
to...
rubbed it or knobbed it or...
No,
or
you'd have to adjust the settings in Windows. But there's something not right there. Sorry.
I guess I'll hang up and restart and call back. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Jim even there?
Sounded like someone was eating potato chips in the background there just now. Jim was here.
I'm here. I'm just disgusted.
With what?
We'll work with it. It's fine. It'll be... I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to mess around today.
Really?
Especially with you, Jonathan.
Yes? Why?
You know why.
No, I don't.
You know what you've done.
No, I don't.
This probably isn't the right place to bring it up, but I am livid.
What happened?
I am furious, Jonathan.
I'm sorry in advance.
That hissing went down just then, whatever it was you did. But what hasn't gone down is my blood pressure when I think about you, Jonathan.
What?
And what you... Oh. He is going to be furious when he finds out.
Who?
You know who.
No, I don't.
You, potentially, have compromised this entire podcast. And our livelihoods, all three of us.
Well, how did I do? I haven't done much lately.
You stole fizzy lifting drink. Jonathan. You have ruined us.
I wish.
If Wonka finds out what you... Oh my fucking Christ! We had a sponsorship deal for Podtoid. I put my house up as collateral. And yours, Jonathan. If he finds out you stole fizzy lifting drink, he is going to have our guts for garters.
Does that mean wear our intestines for, like, sexy underwear?
Yes.
I've never heard that expression.
He will have your lower intestine wrapped around his silky, smooth-shaven thigh and parade around saying oopity-doo.
That is weird.
We're not as weird as you. We turn our back on you for 2 seconds while Conrad and I talk about spreadsheets and charts. And you just guzzle it down and lift up near a big fan and then fall back down again by doing dirty burps all on his walls. If he smells that, if he just... Oh, it smells like fucking burps in here. It smells like fucking Jonathan Holmes's fucking burps.
Ugh.
Then he's going to trace it back to you, then us, and we are all sunk. You have ruined us.
What?
We were gonna win the whole factory.
Oh.
It was ours. We were going to rename it Podtoid's Chocolate Factory. We were going to have you poo in chocolate bars, and people would eat your poo all up nice. Yum, yum. Kids were looking forward to that. It's every boy's dream. They want Johnny's cocoa.
It's not true.
But you had to steal the fizzy lifting drink.
I didn't steal it.
You mong.
Mong?
Yes, you.
Who's Mong?
You.
I am Mong?
Mong the burpulous.
Like Ming the Merciless.
That was it, yeah.
I didn't do it. I'm upset about the accusation.
Alright, well, I'll believe you then, because you said it so good.
Yeah, I'm clean.
Yeah.
No crimes here.
That's how they should do trials in the court of law. So long as the denial sounds good, let them off.
I
That
didn't
sounds
do it.
reasonable. That sounds, yeah.
Did you steal this car or not? Didn't do it! Alright?
All right, that fair due.
You sound convinced. And you'd know. So,
Yeah, because you were there.
yeah, well, I weren't there.
Exactly.
I am a humble barrister. I was not there. I've just got my funny white wig on. I don't know. So just take it as evidence in the court. That's us fixing the legal system of America. Welcome to Podtoid, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your very tired host, even more so than last week. I do apologise if I just start spouting bollocks, as I don't
Wouldn't really be that different from an average episode.
No, that's what we want. That's great.
Every
Some of the best
episode
shows ever have been
we
you.
talk about physics like Bill Nye the Science Man.
Is he still alive?
Yep.
That's good.
And still awesome.
Is he still doing science?
He does like public speaking engagements and outreach and charity stuff. He's
That's great.
still around.
But Mr. Wizard is dead.
Mr. Wizard is dead.
That's too bad. He was the original Bill Nye.
Fred something was his name.
Fred Savage.
Yes, it was.
Yes, Fred Savage. That's correct.
They're making a sequel to Boy Meets World, speaking of Fred Savage.
That's a horrible crime, and I don't think that was Fred Savage.
Well, it was
It
in a
was
way.
Ben, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his brother.
Yeah.
Similar.
Fred Savage got awesome as the years went on. Like, he was pretty cool in the Wonder Years. I was a fan of that, but like him directing Always Sunny in Philadelphia just pretty much makes him one of the greatest human beings alive.
Had a great role in that, the film, the name of which I forget, based on the Warren Ellis book.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Warren Ellis, have I got the right guy there? Did American Psycho.
No, that's Bret Easton Ellis.
Bret Easton Ellis. Warren Ellis is
Watchmen. He's the
Watchmen comics, yeah. I always get their names the wrong way round.
Or, no, he wasn't Watchmen. That's someone else. No, Warren Ellis, he does Dr. Sleepless, Transmetropolitan.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you talked about them before.
Alright, yeah, okay. Yeah, I always mix their names up, but no, the Bret Easton Ellis...
Well, there's like a lot of Warrens and a lot of Ellises out there. Just the names are easy to mix up. Anyway, yeah, Bret Easton Ellis, terrible writer. What a hack.
Whoa.
I really don't care for him. Well, I read Less Than Zero, and I thought, wow, that's a pretty good book. And then I read Glamorama, and I was like, wow, this is pretty much the same book. And then I read American Psycho, and I was like, okay, he's going in a direction, but it's pretty much the same book. I mean, it's really just sort of about alienation growing up in the 80s, his entire career. And then later he does what was it, Lunar Park? Was that the one? I think that's the one. And that's like being middle-aged and reflecting on how miserable your experience was growing up in the 80s and how it made you a consumer asshole. I mean, it's the same fucking story. All his characters are Patrick Bateman.
But didn't he write Alf?
That cannot possibly be right.
I think so.
No, because he would have been like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Alf.
I thought someone wrote Alf, and then.
Well, yeah, some poor bastard wrote Alf, but I don't think it was Bret Easton
Not create Alf, but he showed up and was like, write an Alf today, and he wrote it, and then did some heroin and thought about killing himself. Someone did that.
We're not talking about the hairy alien, are we?
The entire writing staff of Alf.
We are talking about the hairy alien.
Hairy alien.
Gordon Shumway.
Okay.
Cat-eating extraterrestrial.
From Melmac.
From Melmac.
He wasn't that big in the UK when I was a child. He was around. I knew of him.
So. There was no excuse for him getting that big here.
He
had a presence, but he was no Jake the Snake Roberts.
Was he big in the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. He's also does drugs and things like that.
Oh, he does so many drugs.
Yeah, he does the drugs, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Jake.
Too many, if you ask me. I think he's had one too many drugs. Jake the Snake Roberts. If you're not going to listen to anyone else, listen to me. It's time to put a stop to it. please.
He always befuddled me because he doesn't look strong.
You're letting him befuddle you. I've been trying to befuddle you for months. And you're like, oh no, I'm tired.
That's not what I mean by that. I'd look at a snake, the Jake Roberts, and think, you are long, but you are not strong. And you are not down to beat up any huge man. How are you beating up a huge man? You know, he'd fight Ultimate Warrior with muscles on him. Then Flabby Jake the Snake would just come out with a snake and have long arms and be like, wish me luck, and then win.
That's because he can't feel pain, because he's so hopped up on the goofballs.
Yeah. And he is wily. He is wily. That is why he has a snake in his bag.
That is pretty tricky.
No one would see that coming either with a name like Jake the Snake Roberts.
Especially with him doing it every week. Every week it's a surprise. What is Jake the Snake Roberts doing with a snake? He did that last week. I didn't think he'd do it again. That's the kind of thing you do once. You pull a snake out of a bag once. That's where he tripped them up. Because every week they thought, well, he's not going to do it again, is he? He already did it. He's done it 3 times now. If he does it again, it's just going to be over. Holy fuck, it's a snake. Get out of the ring. Ultimate Warrior, it's a snake. He'll bite you on the leg.
He put the snake on a man who was knocked out. You would just place a snake on him and say, there it is. A snake is on him.
Yeah.
And then everyone would just stare. Be like, he really did it, guys. And the ref too would just be like, oh, I don't know. There's a snake on him. Should I call someone? Should I do something?
What do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
But can you imagine later when that wrestler wakes up and he watches back the video of the match and just sees that a snake was put? Can you imagine Mr. Perfect just sat there just, Mr. Perfect, I got beat up, but I'm okay. I still got my dignity. It's a snake on me! Furious. He will be furious.
Not to mention surprised, just startled. Once again.
It's like, I knew he took the snake out the back. I didn't think he was going to put it on a man.
He's just a monster.
Yeah.
Irredeemable. That's probably why he does the drugs, is to forget what a fiend
Well, would you
was.
be able to live with yourself?
Not at all. If I was a snake-putting man. Oh dear, Jake the Snake, you cad.
Oh, wrestling used to be fun like that. It's getting a little better lately. There's some good wrestlers.
That reference, all that talk about old 80s, 90s WWF will have gone well over the heads of our audience, who I'm assuming are all 10 years old.
They're getting into it, though. I see a lot of people talking about how they want 80s and 90s wrestling back. The YouTube videos of Gold Dust getting a lot of views. I was watching one the other day of Gold Dust sexually harassing a mannequin dressed like Rowdy Roddy Piper for 3 minutes.
Gold Dust's amazing.
Yeah, Gold Dust is.
He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too. But it's getting a lot of views. I have a feeling that there's an audience for that again. Maybe not on TV. Maybe
you know
like
what, Jonathan?
Series. Yes.
I think there is an audience for that.
Do.
Yeah.
And what? Who?
Imagine this, if you will, right?
Yeah, right.
The WBFF.
World.
I said that wrong.
Okay.
The WBWF. That works.
Okay.
Right? Hear me out. The World's Boston Wrestling Federation.
It's the world and Boston?
It's the world's
Boston is the world. I mean, who are we kidding?
It's the center of my universe, to be honest. Never been. Love to go.
It's not good.
What do you mean it's not good after all the renovation we've done to it?
It is.
We are turning it into a fucking utopia.
Dude, Mayor Hasselhoff has me on speed dial.
The mayor of... Do you know about the mayor of Boston? It's not David Hasselhoff.
It's Mayor Hasselhoff. I don't know if it's the David Hasselhoff, because I never see him. He speaks mysterious on the phone. He's like, I've got another job for you. I need you to do wrestling for a minute in the middle of the town. I think he's evil.
He seems pretty cool to me. The real mayor we have is named Menino. And he talks, yeah, and he's
Finding Nemo.
finding Menino. Yeah, he's in a hospital a lot. So there's like, recently did an interview with him where they asked him, well, couldn't you just be the mayor from a hospital bed? You're in here all the time, so why don't you just be a mayor while dying?
The
He's like,
bedridden mayor of Boston.
yeah, I'm not kidding. And he's like, well, he's got this really weird speech impediment. He's like, well, I could be the mayor from the hospital bed, but I love to be with the people. So I will either get out of the bed or I will resign for mayor. But I think I'm going to get out of the bed. I'm
He's
like,
Elmer Fudd.
yeah, he is. I'm not kidding. Look him up after the show. They call him Marble Mouth Menino, and yet he's been elected like 9 times.
Why wouldn't you elect Elmer Fudd for mayor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, you
Weird.
know that the laws regarding hunting licenses are going to be awesome.
Yeah. Every day is rabbit season. Oh. So, Mayor Fudd. I've been speaking with him for a while, old Marble Mouth Fudd, about wrestling. Because he thinks that West Wing's gonna be really big. So, so I've set up the World Boston Wrestling Federation. Okay? Now, do you want to know what the roster is, Jonathan? The wrestling roster?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
First
Once
of all...
again, your first mistake.
I mean, I should know. Knowledge is power. You can tell me about it.
Knowledge is power.
There are some things man was not meant to know.
So anyway, first of all, our main card, our baby face, that's wrestling term for the good one, right? This is our The Rock. This is our The John Cena. This is our The Hogan man, right? Handsome Holmes.
Not handsome. Old ladies tell me I'm handsome sometimes because they think maybe they have a chance with me because I'm so...
Because they have taste.
No, they're just like, well, I can't get a good-looking guy because I'm, 72, but I want something.
It's
Hey,
wrestling.
handsome, get over here.
It's wrestling, Jonathan. It's the art of the masquerade. You'll come out in a red swimming trunks, right? With crotch written on the front, so that they know it is handsome. A mesh tank top, I'm thinking. That's a good wrestling attire. Aerodynamic. The meshing is less wind resistance. Really allows you to spring off the ropes in the squared circle. That's wrestling talk for wrestling ring. Blonde mullet wig. And
That's a classic.
Yeah, and a big H written on your head for handsome.
I will look my worst.
Right? The audience is piled in your front garden. Right?
What happens at my house?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Where else are we gonna have?
You know what wrestling fans are like? I actually wrestled in a monster wrestling league for a brief period of time.
So you've already got industry history. Good.
I have some tiny bit, but the audience was... Everyone said, you can't watch this sober. You just can't. So they were all as drunk as possible, just smashing things, puking, tipping over beers.
I don't disagree with that sentiment. I think that's accurate.
But Jonathan, here's what you're missing out on. It's not just going to be ordinary wrestling fans that are coming to watch. It's going to be members of the local Alcoholics Anonymous that I've invited round. So they're not going to touch a drop of the alcohol that I will have liberally spread around your house.
Problem solved.
Okay, so we're going to have lots of alcohol for us. Just for us three. Enough to, feed 20 men. I'll invite 20 members of Alcoholics Anonymous round, give them something to do, and give back to the community. That's how I pitched it to Mayor Fudd. So, I come out, right? Me and Conrad are basically like Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross. We're the commentators of the wrestling. So we come out, right? We're wearing cowboy hats and Stetson boots and t-shirts that say good wrestling on it. And we come out and we say, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to do wrestling? Watch wrestling being done. And everybody says, yes, yes, we do. Do you know there is free alcohol over there? Yes, yes, we do. You can drink it to really help you get in the mood. Jonathan Holmes says you have to watch this drunk. That's what you said, wasn't it, Jonathan?
No, I
You
didn't.
can't watch this sober.
That's really mean.
We have 3 different types of beer. I'll probably do that laughing as I say beer as well. Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at some pounds and hailing from Boston, it's Handsome Holmes. Da 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 da.
Oh,
Da
geez.
da 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 da. Yeah, and then the pyrotechnics go off. 2
Explosion?
fireworks that I've still left over from holidays. We light some fireworks in your apartment, aim them out the window so that they go out of your house, overhead, over us in the garden. That'll work. And you come out with your Speedos and your blonde wig and your mesh tank top, and you come out, da, 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 and you start really sort of, you get the microphone and you say, ladies and gentlemen, I am Handsome Holmes, the best wrestler in the world. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for their, agreement immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you please cheer for me? Please. I'll give you some alcohol if you cheer for me. And then you just start throwing beers into the crowd. Like Stone Cold
Cans of
Steve
beers?
Austin would.
Huh? If he throws beer cans, that can be quite hazardous. And knock someone in the head or the eye.
By that point, our audience might be too drunk to care.
That's terrible. And it's
Ladies
at my
and
house.
gentlemen, weighing in at some more weight, and also hailing from Boston, it's the bad wrestler, the evil wrestler, the wrestler that's an idiot.
Sudden change of tone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please boo and hassle and throw things at a dog.
I knew it.
Da 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 da.
Same theme song?
Yes, it's a great tune. The audience will love it. Yeah, yeah. And then a 3-legged dog that we stole off a homeless man. It's all right. I've given it injections.
Of
Steroids.
human steroids?
A little bit. If it makes it better.
I'll be honest, I didn't really read the packaging on the steroids.
We didn't need to, because I got a permanent marker pen and wrote dog steroids on the label. So that makes it dog steroids. So I just fed the dog a load of that. I kind of shoved it in dog food and gave it to that. So that comes out. It's not been fed after that. About 3 days. It's very feral.
Very feral.
It's particularly feral.
Yeah, it's very feral. Isn't that Perry Farrell's cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the homeless man was kind of keeping it in check. Plus it was very tired. But the steroids woke it right up. Plus I've been giving it some Monster Energy to drink.
Oh, no. That stuff really is bad for dogs.
It's...
Caffeine and steroids. Or just any sort of...
Yeah, it did something to this one. It looks like a wrestler.
Is it big, dog?
It's sinewy.
Picturing one of those dogs that doesn't have fur, it has, like, hair.
It's dog-like.
Yeah. It's, oh, God. I'm really worried about the dog.
I'm picturing a real sick monster dog.
It's angry.
Yeah.
Particularly at me. But also a bit of you, Jonathan, because I've been showing it videos of your face laughing. I just kind of... I got pictures of your face put it on a flickering video screen, shone that at the dog with a recording that I've done cut up of your, like, bits of your videos, so it sounds like you're going, ha 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 ha, stupid dog. Stupid dog, stupid dog. So Dog the Bouncy Wrestler comes out. That's what we're calling it. Dog the Bouncy Wrestler comes out, and you're just going to wrestle that.
It sounds like you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Does it sound? Do I sound like I'm
really
wrestling
scratchy
dog?
and bad, yeah.
That is so weird, guys.
I do imagine the dog might
Well,
be
that was something
places.
brushing up against the microphone specifically. It
I
wasn't-
moved it. Now now it's good.
Now it's good.
Yeah. Now, I know what you're worried about, Jonathan. Will the dog bite you? Yes. Yes, it will. But it doesn't have many teeth. Those ones it does have are razor sharp. So it swings and roundabouts. Every cloud's got a silver lining. Chicken egg. But-
Chicken egg.
Yeah.
Chicken and egg.
Yeah.
Ah.
But
Mm.
you'll have a steel chair. Like wrestlers have. So basically, so long as you hit that dog once and get it down and then just keep hitting the three-legged angry feral dog, we'll have a good wrestling show.
It's real bad. I mean, I could beat a dog if I had to. If it had 3 legs.
It'd be more believable than Jake the Snake winning Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, it will look like I'm really killing a dog in front of a bunch of recovering alcoholics who are all just feeling terrible about their relapse and potential loss of their lives again to alcohol while they watch a man with the word crotch written on his crotch beating a dog to death with a chair.
Yeah, you're right. We should get this on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's not. It's people would watch it. There's
People
an audience
want,
for it.
you already said there's an audience for it. People want the spirit of 80s and 90s wrestling back. And this is it. We've got the costumes, we've got the music, we've got
the animals.
music of the age, we've got the animals, we've got
It's theatrical.
classic chair beatdown. And then when you win, you get the famous champion's blowjob.
What?
Oh, it's a custom. I don't know if you're aware of this in wrestling circles, but I've been a long-term mark, that's wrestling term for a person who knows a lot about wrestling. When the champion wins, after the wrestler has beaten the dog to death with the chair, this happens every WrestleMania. Triple H has done it, The Undertaker's done it, Kane has done it. They come out, they beat the dog to death with a chair. Well, it doesn't even have to be death if you're worried about that, just so long as it's a lump that can't do much. Out comes one of the commentators, typically the fattest, most British commentator, gets up out of the commentary box, goes into the ring and just pops the little red trunks off and just gives you a little well-done blowjob.
Oh. What if the dog wins?
Then you have to give the dog a blowjob. That's called the loser's blowjob.
Oh.
If you lose to a dog, this is... I apologise to the listeners, we're getting very technical into the art of wrestling. This is something only, smarks like myself. That's a wrestling term for someone who knows a lot about wrestling. I'm trying to explain it as user-friendly as possible so that you understand. But basically, if a wrestler kills a dog, fat British man gives him a blowjob. If the dog maims a wrestler, the wrestler has to give the dog a blowjob before the commentators phone for an ambulance for him.
You know what's pretty hard to do? Give a dog a blowjob while the dog is trying to kill you. Trying to get around there with your head, like, come on, little puppy, just hold still. Well, just biting into your neck and tearing.
And that's what I like about you, Holmes, is that, you have the wisdom and experience necessary to know how difficult that is. And that's why I have confidence in your ability.
Plus, on the positive side, if you succeed in giving the dog a blowjob, it'll calm down.
I don't know. I've never giving a dog a blowjob, but I would imagine it's not something they use to relax. Dogs get a little bit rambunctious when they're in the sexual.
Jonathan, I guarantee you, if I were attacking you, right, Jonathan,
Mhm.
if you were to pop down and give me a little blowy, I'd simmer right the fuck down.
People are using that term blowy. Ugh. Any sort of like cutesy term for oral sex? Not good. Not. It makes
No?
me feel like strawberry shortcake, and the Care Bears are like, "Hey, want a little blowy? Oh, thank you." It's like, oh no, don't
That's
mix.
unfortunate, Jonathan.
Yeah, not into the blowy term.
That's unfortunate, because
Yeah.
after round 1 of the wrestling event,
Mm.
you've got to change into your second costume
Mm.
as the blue blowy boy. And then you come out and basically give me a blowjob.
Basically, that's
Yeah, it's a
That's the
wrestling.
general gist. I mean, there's some
yeah.
technicalities. There will be certain stroke maneuvers that you'll have to train vigorously for, because then this isn't. We're not kids here.
No.
This is some serious shit. We're putting on a show.
I mean,
But
are you aware of the Royal Rumble, Jonathan?
Is that where like 10 to 20 men get in the ring
All
and
the wrestlers are in the ring together and they all have a fight and knock each other over the ropes. And the last one standing gets a title shot. That's wrestling terms for might win a belt. At WrestleMania, that's wrestling terms for big wrestling show.
okay.
Okay? Now, you've got to work out which order the wrestlers come out in, because obviously the last wrestler to come out will be the least tired and has a better shot at winning the Royal Rumble to get a title shot at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you determine who comes out last? How do you do that?
Random draw?
Random draw?
Yeah?
Kind of, yeah.
You
And what's-
sound overly passionate about
What's
a
the
random
best
draw.
way to do a random draw, Jonathan?
Oh, it's just numbers in a hat?
Numbers in a hat. That's
Plinko?
a good idea. It's easy to forge numbers in a hat. It's easy for one wrestler, like either one of our 2 wrestlers on our roster, like either Handsome Holmes or the blue boy of blowy boy,
They're both me.
could cheat to get advantage over the other one.
The balls? The spinning ball game? Like,
Balls,
Oh,
you're
I
getting
like
closer.
yes, I see
Yeah.
where we're going here.
Basically, here's what happens. There's a photo of Handsome Holmes and the blue blowy boy on a table, right? You come out, Jonathan. Just put my little chungus in your mouth there.
no. No. Ugh. No. No.
Right?
No.
Yeah, nosh me off to completion, and then I'll turn around and just like that, and then whichever gets the most splatter on it is the last one to come out of the Royal Rumble
My eyes are
on the
darting.
photo. So
It's a
I'll
scientific process.
I'll come off onto one of the photos. I'll just like turn around, just as I turn around, and my silky arc sort of comes out, and then whichever photo has the most splaff on it is the winner, basically. Who will it be? Handsome Holmes or the boy bluey blow boy?
Call your local cable provider to order now.
Damn right. And then, of course, we do the Royal Rumble, where you come out and punch yourself in the face.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say. So, am I?
You come
Who
out,
am I
right?
fighting? Yeah.
My pre-cum dribbling out your mouth. You come
Ugh.
out with red pants with crotch written on it, and on your head, blowjob is written. No, blue hat. A blue penis hat. Foam penis hat on top of your head, so that you are both Handsome Holmes and the boy Bluey Blowboy. And then you just sort of just punch yourself in the cheek, and then throw yourself over the rope.
You can really hurt yourself doing that.
Well, we'll find out. How bad?
What hits me is just how popular this would be.
Well, what hits you will be you.
Yeah, well, sure. But people really love to see a person tortured. and or
You won't be tortured. You won't get
degraded.
hurt so long as you don't trip on the now very wet dog.
This would get so many views on YouTube. This would beat Gangnam Style. It would get 1 billion views.
It would.
Yeah, but
Imagine
that's
that,
how you make it
Jonathan.
these days, guys.
You could be the next Gangnam Style. Or the Harlem Shakes or whatever it was. It'll be like, hey guys, you're going to do the Gangnam Style? No, Granddad, that's so old. Hey, do you want to go to the park and do a Harlem Shake? Oh, what century are you from, you old bastard? Well, tell you what, do you want to give a fat British man a blowjob and then have him come on a brown man's face? I'm there.
Yeah, that's
I'm there. There's a trending Twitter topic right there for you.
Wave of the future.
We will be famous on the internet for at least a week.
Yeah.
People, kids in schoolyards across the globe will be giving each other blowjobs and then spunking on photos of your face, Jonathan. That's really what I want. I want people. Yeah, to be honest, I could probably do without the dog, the wrestling, the Alcoholics Anonymous, the Boston, everything, and just get not even people, just Podtoid fans, to come on photos of you.
Someone will do it now.
It's a brand of user-created pornography called the Cum Tribute, Jonathan. And
really?
Yes, it's very popular, and I'd like it for you to ride that wave.
Why do you want anything to happen to me? What?
Well, it won't happen to you, just photos of you.
It feels as though someone is thinking about me then, in a way that I'd rather they not. But you want them to think about me like that.
Well, they could be looking at whatever they want.
Okay.
I just want the full whack of the load.
Why?
To go on a photo of you. Who knows why cum tributes are popular? Who knows why people who definitely aren't me look at them?
Jonathan. So it's a video of an ejaculator.
Of a man's penis.
Okay.
Right? Fully engorged.
Uh-huh.
Right? With his hairy hand wrapped around the shaft. Right? Moving backwards and forwards. Right? And I'm miming this. You can't see it, but I am miming this. My hand's right down near my sack. Just so that you know. I need you to know. Moving back and forth. Starting at a decent brisk pace. Getting faster and faster and faster. Getting the vinegar strokes. That's wrestling term for wanking really fast. And then eventually just like that, and then just
it farts
on a face.
On a face, picture of a face.
Just some juicy man good.
Yeah. No. No. I don't know why anyone would.
This isn't even asking you to do anything. You don't have to take new photos. There are loads of them on Google image search.
This is true.
People just have to... The effort is on everyone else. They've got to search for a good picture they like, print it out, put it on a desk, get a camera in a good angle. Their penis doesn't have to be in the shot, but I'd like it if it were. And then just squirt on it.
Is it like an expression of like admitting that you are weird?
It's a show of admiration.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's a show of their appreciation for what you do on Podtoid. And I'm sick of people not appreciating you enough.
Thanks.
You get a raw deal. How many people have come on a photograph of you, Jonathan? Nobody. That's not fair.
It's just not right.
I'm morally offended. We do this show, and we don't ask anything in return. We don't ask anything. We've talked about ad block in the past, and I've said, I'd like you to whitelist Destructoid or not use ad block on Destructoid. But if you do, I won't judge you. But if you're not coming on Jonathan Holmes' face, you're a parasite. I don't want to use the word thief, but you are stealing content from us. Every podcast we do where a Holmes photo goes unjizzed is technically a crime.
I,
Oh, sorry, Jonathan. Do you disagree that people should be compensated for their work? And I'm not even asking for compensation. I'm asking for compensation.
It's hard.
I like how you stopped yourself there.
Yeah, it's it's whatever. It's okay. Everything's okay now. Just there's nothing weird or gross ever. Everything's totally normal. Hey, what are you doing over there? Oh, I'm pooing on my mom's head, and then she's gonna eat it. That's not weird. That's
think
cool.
we could get people to do that?
I don't know. Yes. Yes, we could.
If you're listening, Podtoid listeners, and you want to poo on your mother, Jonathan Holmes encourages it.
I don't encourage it.
How are you today, Jonathan?
I'm all right. I've had a
45 minutes in.
It's been a pretty stressful day, but nothing terrible happened, so that's good. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Day job, psychiatric hospital. Pretty serious problems, but they didn't get worse.
And they're not yours.
No, but they feel, I feel often like I'm an extension of my patients. Because, I could do other things for God.
Pull out of them, you dirty boy.
No, I am, it's not good to joke about having sex with patients. It's bad.
Unless it is the Joker.
Oh. What's that sound?
That ain't me.
I don't know. Sorry.
Who knows, Jonathan? It's a mystery.
It is.
It is. God, it's warm in this office. It's getting hot again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been unseasonable in Portland the entire winter. Like, we didn't get rain except, on a few days. Normally there's just like this kind of constant drizzle. Hardly any rain. It's like 63 degrees today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's almost summer. That's definitely spring.
Yeah, it's spring. It'll get into the 80s here in the summer, but yeah.
And how'd the video games go? Did the video games happen? You were talking about Don't Starve, chopping a tree down. That's what is that? Clay Entertainment. Yeah,
Yep.
We had Nels Anderson from them on.
Yeah. This is the other team at Clay, apparently, working on this, and yeah, it's in beta, and if you pre-purchase, you get access to the beta on Steam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I am really enjoying it. It's really hard, though. The most recent game I've started this time, I've decided to use custom rules and I eliminated one of the enemy types that just is managing to overrun me inexplicably right away.
Is it just a pure survival game then?
Yeah, pretty much. You have to create shelter, and there's a day and night cycle. You have to feed yourself, and you have to keep yourself sane. And so at night, monsters, creep in from the darkness, and you have to keep them outside of your perception by having a fire light source of some kind. And as your sanity decreases, you start to see them in the daytime, and they're just like little shadows in the background. It's really unsettling. And then all of the monsters seem to just come out of nowhere. You'll be chopping down trees, and then all of a sudden one of the trees next to them will transform into a tree person, and it'll come attack you. It's very unforgiving and mean, and it looks like an Edward Gorey illustration. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the art direction. I've seen some of the production art and promotional art, but I haven't actually seen the game. Does it look pretty similar to the promotional?
Oh, yeah. It's just that, but it moves around.
Huh. Because it's cute. It's got a hand-drawn kind of relatable charm to it.
Yeah, I suppose it's cute for, a little bit until it's a roguelike type thing.
Hmm.
So when you die, you lose all your progress. And you can restart in the same map if you want to, or you can have it randomly generate another one.
How do you win?
Win?
Or just how? So it's a question of when you're going to lose.
Yes. It's how
Ah,
long are you going to last until you lose? I mean, maybe it's possible to sustain yourself indefinitely. I don't know. It certainly seems like it could be, but yeah, it's a
that's
question
a,
of how long you survive. And as you build things, you craft items from resources that you collect, and then that opens up new things that you can build, and new types of food that you can acquire, and weapons and armor and so forth that allow you to survive more effectively. And you can build walls and flooring and structure. So it's one of those, as you play it and learn more about it, you get a lot better and you'll survive longer and longer. Like my
right. But
record right now is only 12 days, though.
how long's a day in real life?
I think a day takes about 10, 15 minutes, somewhere in that range.
12 days, not bad then.
No.
It's a couple
It's
hours.
that's probably not. It's probably longer than I think it is. It's probably really
Sure.
like 5 minutes for a day. I'm
Yeah.
just not
Oh,
paying attention.
still, that's not bad.
Feels like a long time until it starts getting dark, and then you're like, oh shit.
It sounds like the kind of game that I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of. That's almost designed to be promoted via Let's Plays. Like, there's so many games these days that I never expected anyone would care about, that they just love watching other people play it. It's the kind of game where it's really unpredictable. It's almost like just watching someone walk around, and because of that, the way the player or the person doing the let's play does the commentary, and the level of randomness and the surprises that can happen makes it like an exciting watch. It makes you feel like you're almost watching a sport. It's the kind of game that people don't necessarily want to buy because you can't win, and it feels unfair to have it randomized like that. But if somebody does a let's play of it, one of the more popular let's play people, then those games end up selling. I mean, a lot of people think Minecraft wouldn't have sold half of what it did if it weren't for all the let's play videos, which are in the millions of views. And I tried watching them, and it's literally worse than sports, which is as bad as it gets for me. But other people love it, just like they love watching a man run with a ball and then get the ball to the side that he wanted it
Or
on.
hear someone scream rape at a television for an hour.
Oh yeah, some of the Let's Players do that. Not all of them do. Some of them are not like that,
Nope, that's true. There
I
are
think.
some decent ones out there, but none of it is. I don't know. None of it is anything I particularly have a whole lot of interest in watching. I think I'm going to start doing some of that
Yeah, I
because
think that
people seem to like it. But
more. I know most of the people who do Let's Plays that are successful that I've talked to don't watch them at all. They'd rather play them and make them.
I've been looking into a way to do it without trading my dignity.
yeah, that's kind of the challenge.
Yeah, you'd think it would be easy for a guy that just spent 20 minutes talking about cum tributes,
Right,
but
but there is a line, and you got to be careful not to cross that because there's no going back
it's a
once you've
balancing
given
act.
that up.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But that Don't Starve does sound interesting. I might have to check it out.
You know what? If you want the deal on Steam too right now is that if you buy a copy, there's a copy you can give to a friend.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, they're
I
Uh-huh.
got. Did you hear how excited I got about that? Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yes,
people like being able to give a gift to someone.
they do.
I
makes you
think
feel
that's
nice.
yeah, it does.
I mean, you feel in a way that you're paying tribute to someone.
I suppose. Yeah, it makes you
Well,
feel
what
good
better
about yourself.
gift? What better gift could you give a man, Jonathan, than to tribute him?
A lot. You could do something that doesn't make him feel like he might get hurt by you later. That's what those.
That's the best kind of love, the love that hurts. That's
Nope.
romantic in a way. Brian Adams would agree with me. Are you gonna fly in the face of Bryan Adams?
How
He
dare
said-
you, sir?
Yeah. I think you
He
should
didn't-
come on the face of Bryan Adams,
I
and then maybe he'll return the favor.
Hey-oh.
I don't want a sexual liaison with Bryan Adams, and
I
he
want
did.
Bryan Adams to come on a picture of you, Jonathan. If you're
No,
listening,
you don't.
Brian.
No, you don't,
If you're listening, Brian, please do.
Brian.
Brian.
Brian is most likely not listening to the show.
Brian might, though.
He might.
There's always a chance.
And there's a chance someone knows him and is
Yeah.
listening to this. So, the message could get through.
Just let him know. He might be a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and finding out that we exist canonically in the Buffyverse, feels compelled to listen so that he can experience the choice that Willow could have made if she had made that choice in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which she didn't, but she had the opportunity. She had every opportunity, and she ignored it. Quite frankly. I tell you what, though, speaking of ignoring things, I wish I could ignore Trent Reznor.
Oh, God.
I really wish I could ignore Trent Reznor.
What's Trent Reznor doing?
I need your help, Jonathan, for this one.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I get a text late last week. You know me, Jim. I'm always going to go for the roasted peanuts. What does that mean, Jonathan? You know me. I didn't know that about him.
It is pretty weird to announce that someone knows you. It's not as though
I don't intimately know him.
Well, he seems to think you do. He's telling you how much you know him, which it's implied it's a lot, probably more than you thought. And
well, the thing is you know me, and then he goes into a subject and his preferences. That sounds like we're halfway through a conversation. Like I said something like, "What kind of peanuts do you prefer, Trent?" And then he said, "Well, you know me. I'm all about the roasted." That's what he actually followed it up with. He said, "You know me, Jim. I'm always going to go for roasted peanuts," or whatever it was he said. Then he followed up with a second text that just said, "I'm going to go roasted." Screw it. That's what it was. He said, "Screw it. I'm going to go roasted."
And he used your name, too. It's a weird...
The thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, like he's trying to make me go mad. Because if it didn't address me by name, I could have thought, well, he sent the wrong text to the wrong guy. He's halfway through a conversation and he's hit me instead of, just reply to the guy. But the fact he used my name indicates he knew who he was talking to. And
he also wanted to underscore the intimacy that you're having.
Yeah, because I know him. You know me. Yeah. It's roasted
Jim.
peanuts every time. That's his... Apparently, Trent Reznor's all about the roasted peanuts. And we were talking about this. And the follow-up, the screw it, I'm gonna go roasted. And of course it was gone. G-O-N, go roasted. I'm gone go roasted. Because he's lazy with his typing.
Oh, that is the worst.
I know, his text speech...
Why can't you just use the whole word?
Do you think he was apologetic? Like, you know me, Jim. Or is it like, when some people start a sentence with, "I'm really sorry, but..." And that's their way of saying, "I know you're not going to like this, but I like saying it, so I'm going to say it. But I just wanted to let you know I know you're not going to like it, but here we go."
Well, that's the thing. I mean, before I found out I was deathly allergic to nuts, I was a big peanut fan. Loved eating the old peanuts. And I like the dry roasted peanuts.
Well, they're pretty good.
Good fan of dry roasted. So I don't know what he's being apologetic for if he's going that route.
Maybe he's just trying to torture you.
It might be that
a remembrance of thing you can't have.
Just taunting me with his dry roasted peanuts.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Gone, go roasted.
Trent Reznor's peanut taunt. That's what it could be.
I wonder if he even ate the peanuts or he just wanted you to think he would.
I don't know. I mean... That's the problem, is, I could send him any number of texts back and I won't get anything in reply. I won't get a direct response. It was like that time when he said, "I need tungsten." He texted me with, "I need tungsten." I replied, "What for, Trent?" And he came back with, "Lol, joke." It wasn't, what was the joke there? As if he tricked me or something.
Yeah, tungsten. Tungsten, that's a sort of flame? What is a tungsten exactly?
It's like a metal, isn't it? It's like a kind
Yeah, I
of
believe so.
material. Yeah.
It's an element.
There's no.
No, or
Oh.
an ally? Is it an ally or is it like straight up metal? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Either
God damn
way,
it! Now I gotta look it up.
either way, there's no reason for pop star Trent Reznor to get it.
No. What does he need tungsten for?
He surely knows a guy. He surely has a tungsten guy.
Yeah, it
That's
is an
right.
element.
Unless he's trying to make me his tungsten guy.
Chemical symbol W.
Huh.
W for
Oh.
wanker if he carries this on. Unbelievable. Well, I mean, that's... As I'm bringing it to Podtoid, Jonathan, because I'm just looking for your advice, because you're a psychoanalyst and a forensic profiler for the FBI sometimes. So I was just looking for your advice, but I guess we'll just... I'll write off the peanut thing for now unless he brings it up again. And I guess if he keeps this up, he probably listens to this show and is doing it for attention. So I'm going to imagine there'll be another Trent's text next week.
I
Look
need
forward
tungsten.
to the hot new craze that everyone's talking about.
People are talking about it.
That they are.
People who like the show anyway. They're saying, "Oh wow, they like it."
It was the most popular Podtoid discussion on the Podtoid wiki, as voted for by the Podtoid wiki readers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there
nice.
were, because we didn't actually have that many segments or features or anything last week because we were tired, we were stressed, we were under duress, so we didn't have any Willem Dafoe pitches or any wacky ideas or anything. So there were just two options for last week's thing. The weekly poll on the Podtoid wiki was, what was the best bit this week? Trent Reznor's hilarious texts or Psy video game talk. I'll tell you what, 35 votes in favour of Trent Reznor and 9 in favour of the video game.
Whoa.
Wow, video games performed a lot better than I expected
Oh, yeah.
they would.
It was 0 for a while, and I was hoping it would stay, but some people have to be contrary Marys about it, so... But that was fun. I've been playing Lego City Undercover.
Oh, on the Wii U?
Yeah,
What? How is it?
I can't say, it's undercover.
People, some people, Josh Thomas at the Bit Block, he's a big fan of yours, Jim, and he's done some great video content. He loves it. He won't stop talking about it. I don't know if he's reviewing it officially, so maybe he can just say whatever he wants, but he's like, this is the best game of the year already, like very, very enthused. And I look at footage of it, and I'm like, oh, Grand Theft Auto, but Lego, don't want to play that at all.
It's not
Even a
Grand Theft
little.
Auto,
Good.
I'll say that much.
Okay.
It's I can't say much more. But there's a lot. I mean, if you like the other Lego games,
Yeah.
I would definitely pay attention to it.
All right. I liked Lego Batman. Good amount.
hmm
Looking forward to the Marvel superheroes one. Looks pretty fun.
I've been doing that. Been a busy week, playing some of that Dead Space 3 Awakened, the DLC
the scary one, right?
expansion.
Makes it scary?
They suddenly decided to make the co-op character likable. It's almost like they replayed Dead Space 3 after they launched it and said, you know what, this guy needs a personality. We forgot we forgot the... Guys! Yeah, can you get some personality out of that box? I'll put some of that in the DLC, please. Thank you. And then went back to playing it.
Is it more horror focused? Is it trying to scare you?
They're definitely trying to be a lot more atmospheric and stuff. I don't want to spoil it, but they're trying to bring back a lot of the creep factor of the first game.
Oh, cool.
Because the first game had some great Event Horizon-y things and kind of people on the ship who were still alive and were just, going
Not gonna be
mental.
alive
And
for long. Yeah.
And they brought a lot of that atmosphere back to it. I only had about an hour with it before I could, before I had to go and record Podtoid. So, but I will be writing it up for Destructoid. But so far, looking good, looking hopeful. I hope it'll be good.
Cool.
That sounds pretty positive.
Yeah, it's interesting they actually just continued the story of Dead Space 3 rather than do like they did with Severed and did a side story with a new character. Like, it's back with Isaac and Carver, so interesting. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. What else have I done? I've got Gears of War Judgment as well, but I can't talk about that either. That's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty curious.
I'm
about
sure
that.
people are really wondering what that one's like.
Well,
they've
I'm really
claimed-
excited, actually, and I don't think I've ever been excited for a Gears of War game before. But
It's different.
well, Tom Bissell's writing it, and that excites me. Tom Bissell is the author of Why Video Games Matter, or it's Extra Lives: Why Video Games Matter. It's a book that came out in 2010. It's a really, really cool book, and sort of discusses how, the value of games and how they can impact our lives. And it had originally been a series of essays that had been published around and collected later into this book. And one of them's about Gears of War and Cliff Bleszinski, and it was all around the development time of Gears of War 2. And so he's a guy who clearly has an awareness and an understanding of the subject matter. There's a great quote in there where, he's just like, look, it's not deep. There's, it's systematically rich, but narratively kind of not that interesting. And so I'm really encouraged that he understands the challenges and subject matter of creating narrative focus in video games. And I'm dying to see what he brings to the table coming in and writing a game now.
I wonder how much freedom they gave him, or how much they were like, we got to stick with what the Gears fans like. We got to stick with the Gears mythos, and just so you know.
Well, but I don't even know necessarily
that
that he would think that it would need to go in some dramatically different direction either. But it could just be refined and made better. I mean, it's not like Gears is terrible. It's a little cheesy.
People slag off its campaign or say, oh, there was a campaign, but I always got into Gears of War for the story mode. Like, it's not a deep story, it's not a complex story. It is, however, decent, die-hard-esque viewing. It's some nice, dumb, big, burly boys entertainment.
Yeah,
Sure.
I've never, anticipated playing a Gears of War game, and I didn't even play 3 at all, ultimately. I just forgot about it. I guess I could do that. Yeah. So it was never, but every time I've played them, I'm like, you know what, this is great. This is fun. I'm enjoying it, and I'm not like, I guess my expectations might have been pretty low, but I never had a problem with the story at all.
No, not at all. Good stuff.
No, yeah. Chad Conselmo wrote about Gears of War 2 once with a lot of affection. That time you go inside of a giant worm, he wrote.
Giant worm!
Yeah. So if Chad likes it, it must be kind of good, at least a little.
It doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
That's the problem when you go into the big dumb shooter genre. You will never get credit for any good you do. The same with Call of Duty, that's written off as, dumb guns and America entertainment, but it's really not gung-ho America jingoism. It just gets that reputation.
Well, I think a weird classism kicks in, where people want to say, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm just a stupid meathead that plays the games that everyone else plays that aren't even that into video games, so I'm going to seem like I'm more legit by saying I don't like Call of Duty. And they forget that the storyline of Call of Duty, I've never thought, wow, that was totally meaningless. I've always thought, oh, they at least tried to have some character dynamics and some question of whether you can trust authority, and the whole no Russian thing was at least interesting. That's not like, oh, that's proven seller. Just have a mission where you just watch innocent people get killed. That was a risk. It was an interesting one too.
Yeah, they could have sat on their laurels and just served up real pointless dreck. And I'm sure many people are now saying, oh, but they did. But really, they take more risks than people think, at least narratively. They do things other games don't, and I think they know they can do it because they're already at the top of the mountain and can get away with some things other games would be too scared to try.
Well, we were just talking about this on Office Chat, which is going to go up a little later today, I guess, and we're trying to figure out how they could even screw up Call of Duty at this point. The competition is decimated. The sales numbers are ridiculous. Everybody else seems to think that there's no point in trying to take their market share. How do they fuck this up?
Yeah, my guess would be,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
once upon a time, EA had Activision as a rival. How could it screw that up and look worse than Activision? And then
But
found a way.
they've been playing tug of war in public opinion forever. You know, it's one of them's the villain this year, the other one will be the villain next year.
Mm.
Oh, EA's had a good old run with the ball, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
hard for them to.
But yeah, I think Call of Duty probably isn't going to screw up so much as dry up. Eventually, one day it will just its time will have come and gone.
My
Uh,
guess is it'll either get boring because they do try to keep it fresh with new ideas. If they run out of ideas and people really do feel like they're playing the exact same game they did last year, or they tie in too many ugly business decisions and just squeeze the consumer too hard for money with like an hour long campaign and then pay $10 more for another hour, or online by the minute, you get to play,
yeah.
it's a quarter per minute or something, then
Well,
they'll kill it.
that's where I give Activision some credit. It's never felt tempted to do that.
Yeah, they seem to know better than to kill the golden goose.
I think it displays confidence, really. It's a show of confidence. They're saying we don't need online passes, we don't need microtransactions, we don't need to do
Although,
what the competition's
here,
doing.
these new microtransactions in Call of Duty, I have no problem with those whatsoever either. I can't see a reason why, like, the extra loadout slots, like Chris Carter, I guess, said something along the lines of, well, they could have more options and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I guess. But I can't see that being that significant that it would imbalance play. So here they found a way that they can get the people to pay a little bit more money, and it's totally acceptable. But it's not infringing on anybody else's experience. And that's what I love about it.
They did all right with it. Yeah, it's more interesting than annoying.
Yes.
It's not something I'm gonna welcome with open arms. I'm
Well,
gonna be
I'm not
looking
gonna
at it
buy
with
any of the
squinting
crap.
eyes and be wary of it, like a dog with a. I don't know where that was going.
Like, if someone else wants to waste their money, that's their business as far as I'm
I would
concerned.
advise not doing it.
Yeah.
But if you do, that's on you. But yeah, it's so far Activision's shown a lot of confidence. Like even when they went the subscription thing with Call of Duty Elite, like it was all ancillary aesthetic stuff, really, all fluff. Which, if you're a massive obsessive fan, I'm sure it's useful to. It's what
Yeah, that's meaningful to you.
like paying for a fan club or whatever. And so far they've managed to. I think it shows confidence. Like when Dead Space 3 came out with the microtransactions and the DLC and the online pass and just all that stuff, it reeked of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It reeked of nervousness. I think it displays a lot more faith in your brand, and makes the brand look a lot more solid to me. If you just come out with the game and say, "Here it is, people are going to buy it. They're not going to trade it in. This is our game, and it's awesome." And that's what that says to me when you just put the game out. And if before people think it's just about online, it's the same thing Bethesda does with their single player games. They put them out on the shelves and say, buy it, keep it. And a lot of people seem to be doing that.
Yeah, people I know still playing Skyrim.
Hell, I'm still playing Skyrim. Even other games that I review are things that get in the way of Skyrim. That's my attitude. I've been replaying it recently, actually. Getting into the smithing and stuff, which I don't normally do, but really enjoying the smithing.
Oh, cool.
Good stuff.
I played a game I'll talk about briefly.
Oh, do talk about it, Jonathan.
Ridiculous Fishing.
Oh
It's
my
on
god,
the
it's
iPhone.
so good.
You've played it too.
Yeah.
Are you reviewing it, Conrad? Somebody's got to review it for
Somebody
the website.
probably should.
Jim, who should review it? Me or Conrad? Can you get Conrad to do it?
You should do it.
I don't have that much time. Neither do you. Can I do it justice? I'll try. I don't have an iPhone. I steal my wife's iPhone when she's
Yeah, see, I'm
sleeping.
in the same position. I have to use my wife's iPad.
Ah, that makes me feel a little better. Okay. Do you want to talk about it, or should I, Conrad?
No, go for it, please.
It is deceptively simple. You figure, oh, there's nothing much to this, and I'm afraid that some people are going to buy it and think that it's too easy and boring and that nothing happens because you truly choose how hard you want it to be, and your skill will alter how hard of a time you have with it. The better you are at the game, the harder it gets. It's really, really smartly designed. So basically, you're a fisherman, and you just throw out your hook, and if you just want to catch a fish, you just catch the first fish you want, then you throw it up in the air and shoot it with a pistol, and it explodes, and then you get like $2. But if you avoid that fish and keep going down with your hook, there'll be more fish, and if you dodge those fish, there'll be more fish, bigger fish, more fish, bigger fish, and you have to. It gets really hard to dodge all the fish. It gets faster, it gets more crowded, and the more fish that you dodge, the more fish you'll be able to grab on your way back up. So let's say you go down 100 feet, you finally grab a giant sea turtle. Then your hook starts to come up through the water, and you can steer the hook to grab all the fish on the way up and end up with upwards into hundreds of fish on your line, and they all fly into the air, and you shoot them all with pistols or upgrade to shotgun, Uzi, multiple different guns in the game. So at first you're dodging fish, and then you're exploding fish and cashing in, and then buying more items, buying a little hat, and then you go on a weird in-game version of Twitter and talk to other fishermen who just love to tweet out about how many fish you shot with a machine gun that day, and then move to other areas. And it's got a weird the appeal of Pokemon. I love Pokemon a lot. Part of the appeal of Pokemon is every time you wander through the tall grass, you never know what you're going to see, and it triggers the same parts of the brain that a slot machine would. That anticipation of, are you going to win, and how much are you going to win, and what exactly is going to come up. It's makes you feel like anything could happen. Ridiculous Fishing does that, except in a way that doesn't feel like it's totally random. It's also your skill that determines exactly how interesting your game is. So it encourages you to do better, and rarely punishes you too. But for the most part, you never feel bad. It's just whether you feel very good or very, very good. So I can't recommend it enough. It's so fun. It's not out yet. I think it's coming out tomorrow. But everyone with iPhone should just buy it. Yeah,
I want to
so
play
great.
Ridiculous Fishing now.
Dude, it's really good.
They actually really made it sound awesome. I'm going to have to check. It's out tomorrow, you say?
I think so. Yeah,
it's
maybe you should just
phenomenal.
review it, Jim.
Oh, I can't afford to add anything more at the moment.
Well, I'll do my best to steal my wife's phone and get through it.
It
Because
has
somebody's
this
got to.
delightful way of scaling too.
Yeah. I was trying
The,
to describe that.
Well, I mean, because you go basically the system is you go fishing, you shoot fish, you get money, you go to the store and you buy more shit. And so the things you can buy, you can increase the length of your line, which then of course gives you more profit opportunities. And then there's the guns, but the lures all have their own abilities. And there's like one that turns your lure into a chainsaw, and you can just drill through fish on your way down.
To keep going down. But it runs out of gas, and then you can buy more
there's
gas.
there's a toaster that goes on your line, and it'll shock the first fish that your line runs into, giving you a second chance. And so all these little additions just over time increase your potential, but you still have to have the skill to play at that potential. It's very, very smartly designed and cute and bright and
Oh yeah,
funny.
the graphics are beautiful. It's abstract, but it's not pixel art. It's like a weird angular cubist art of the fish and the characters, and the music is really what's a word you can use besides quirky, because that word's kind of yucky to me. It's fun and strange combo. That's just what quirky means, I guess.
It's a little bouncy.
Yeah, at times, absolutely.
Yeah.
If that could be, geez, maybe we should take a clip of that and turn that into a video review. Because we should do video reviews now? What do you guys? You want to do those?
Let's not talk about that right now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not upset. It's just something that we're behind schedule on, and I don't want to promise something. So
okay. Well, that will be fun if we do video reviews some days, guys.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah,
It's
maybe.
it's a thing.
It is.
It's a thing. It's all about getting ducks in a row before I can even
Yeah.
think about it. It's too
I
much
know.
going on.
So much stuff in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
have
true.
more time to do video reviews if I weren't busy reviewing. Oh dear. Oh well, the summer drought's coming.
Yeah.
No, true. I should do
And
questions, I suppose, too.
It's probably
yeah,
a good
let's
idea.
do a few because I want to get done. It's getting very warm in the office,
Oh,
and I've
Yeah.
still got work to do. I've got to proof my Lego Undercover and get video uploaded and all kinds of stuff.
I'll do my best. I forgot. I was lying down, getting confused. Did my sound ever improve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you died a tiny bit during your ridiculous fishing talk, but it was
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a little gap in there.
yeah.
So,
But
Oh,
I don't think it was
alright,
anything
that's-
major.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
We got the
Really?
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
that'll be fun.
Destructoid shirt arrived today.
What's
I bought
that?
one of those shirts from the Destructoid store on Shark Robot.
Shark
Is that the
robot.
site?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there'd be a Destructoid, like anything indicating it was a Destructoid shirt on it, but there isn't. It's the Metal Gear one. The
Oh, yeah, that's a nice shirt.
Metal Gear Rex and an actual little cobra with a exclamation mark above its head. It's a very cute shirt, very stylishly done, and red and black, so look good wearing it on, say, Jimquisition or something. But yeah, I was expecting like Destructoid.com or something on the back, but there's no indication it's a Detoid shirt. I think the next one I get, I will have to get an actual Destructoid themed one, because I've never had one.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had it. I've seen them around. We had them at the HQ in San Francisco.
There was
But
always
I
that
don't think I
famous
ever-
one, the famous Also Cox one with the Mr. Destructoid stood there. Never had one of those, but I'm gonna get. I want that. What's it? The Transformers logo where they made it look like an Autobot sigil.
Oh yeah, that was the newer one. That was pretty
Detoid.
cool.
Yeah, that looks good. I get that.
Let's.
And you
yeah.
can get some great shirts too, listeners, by going to sharkrobots.com probably, and just look for the Destructoid store, you fools.
You sounded so not mad at them when you said that. You know, I forgot there was a Pope thing, and people are asking about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
There is a Pope.
Well, that's a bit conceited of you, Jonathan, bringing it up just because you're the new Pope now.
I am not. Freaky Constantina, who is a Twitter person.
It's not a
Wants to
Twitter
know-
person, it's you.
it's not. It's Twitter person.
You are... Jonathan,
Yeah.
you are Freaky Constantina. You are the spirit of the party. That's another name for you. Jonathan Holmes, the spirit of the party.
I am so lousy at parties. I usually just want to go home immediately.
Jonathan, do you want to know something?
Yes.
Yeah.
That song's almost 10 years old, which is weird. So Freaky Constantina asks, what does Jim Sterling think of me becoming Pope? Would you want Freaky Constantina to be Pope?
Well, I mean, since you are Freaky Constantina, and since you are the Pope, that's my dream come true.
Done and done.
Yeah.
Another man with a red hat who said I was strange recently. His name is Ryan. Ryclegg on Twitter. Wants to know which hero or villain we would elect as Pope from video games. Video game Pope. Probably Liquid Snake. Just to hear him
Make a
talk.
good Pope.
Yeah. I don't know why people care about the Pope. I'm confused about it. They're
Well,
not
because
Catholic.
he has a direct line of communication with God. Duh.
I'll care the day, like, the smoke billows up and the curtains rise and then a gay black woman steps out in the papal robes. Then I'll care. Until then, it's just the same old man
Yeah,
just
at
coming
least-
out.
At least it's not a European white guy.
Oh, yeah, who's Frankie now?
Brazilian or
Brazilian?
Argentinian?
or Argentinian? One of those. I don't know.
He was from he was
Progress, guys.
Grabbed him. Yeah.
I believe in change. Yes, we can. We got
I
our
see.
Brazilian Pope Frank. I so don't care.
Yeah. It's like-
Why are we pretending that it's relevant?
to me, it's like if everywhere in the news and everyone was just like, you know that country store? New ownership.
Well,
now
I mean,
it's another guy selling jelly beans. And be like, so I don't even go to that store. That good for you, guy. But why is everyone talking? Does
well,
anyone?
here's why. Because it would be like, the Prime Minister of Britain changing or the President of the United States changing, except this is something that happens maybe every 40, 50 years, so
Is
possibly more
Catholic a country?
significant. Effectively,
They're
I
just
mean,
they're always doing the
if the
same.
Pope says it, they are supposed to do it.
But he's just gonna say all the stuff that he thinks he should say, like the other popes did.
He's just going to do what the rest of them do and just say, he's fucked too many kids in that town, move him on.
Yeah, but don't you want to make sure that that guy's going to, stay the course and not make things worse?
I don't know. I guess maybe I should look more into it, but I just
believe
assumed.
One of the cardinals or someone said this pope's indicating that it's not going to be business as usual. Which I'm instantly thinking, that one knows how to clear an internet cache.
I mean, right now, the priesthood are just screwing children. Okay, but they could expand that.
Oh, they could move on to adults, then we're all in trouble.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that they're just going to keep it to kids.
Wow, you got him.
Oh, God, and it's worse coming from you. It's so unexpected.
It's got more bite, for
Yeah.
sure.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's the Pope covered.
Yes, we haven't got any new Pope questions in yet. Huh.
Stay
Interesting.
tuned to Podtoid for all your Papal news, Popetoid, as it were. That's what this episode is. It's the Pope special.
Now it is.
Yeah.
That was special.
To celebrate Jonathan Holmes becoming Pope. What's your Pope name going to be? I think it's gonna be called Pope Spunky the First.
Spunky?
Spunky Biscuits. Pope Spunky Biscuits.
They would have to just go along with it, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Please say it out loud.
Pope Spunky Biscuits?
It almost seems worth it to spend your entire life in supplication to this organization, rising through the ranks, working hard, doing the politics to get into a position where you could name yourself Spunky Biscuits.
Pope
And
Spunky.
nobody would be able to do shit about it because you are next in line to God.
Yeah, excuse me, who did God choose? You? You can call yourself Francis or Benedict or whatever you want. I'm Spunky Biscuits. That was Jesus' idea, not yours. Oh dear, they got a fuckload of gold though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they keep the gold.
Yeah, they keep the gold while asking for fundraisers. Good racket.
This is Never Monkey asks.
Let's set up a Kickstarter next.
That people are
That'll be
asking
the
about
next one.
Kickstarter, actually.
The Pope's
Question was.
Kickstarter.
Well, they collect taxes. I mean, how are they not a country?
I don't know. Who lives there? In Pope.
They live everywhere, but their capital is seated at the Vatican.
Right.
They're a country with no land. The sneakiest country of them all.
They can infiltrate all of us.
Yeah, a bit of
except the Middle
could be
East.
next door. Yeah, except the Middle East.
So we're all living in Pope.
Look at us trying to do current affairs.
Whoa, Trent Reznor's got a tweet for you.
Uh-oh.
God.
Pisodet BBQ is Trent's Twitter handle. Says, get him to save me a piece o' dat spicy BBQ. Trent's BBQ fan Reznor. It's a question for you, Jim. It's got a picture of what looks like Trent Reznor eating barbecue.
Eating barbecue. The Twitter header is a whole bunch of assorted meats as well.
Oh, you've seen this?
Yeah. For the purposes of me being allowed to continue talking about him on Podtoid, I cannot say that Twitter account belongs to the real Trent Reznor. I can't say it doesn't, but I will say that for the benefit of whoever's running it, the tweets I get sent from that account make me laugh a lot.
Oh, good. That's fun. It's believable. I thought it was real for a second. So many questions came in. I wish I knew which ones you guys wanted to answer. I just have to guess. Carrion D he asks, do you think big publishers will end up kickstarting riskier games? Kind of like how essentially the WB is doing with Veronica Mars The WB is kickstarting a Veronica Mars movie.
What?
I can't
Yeah,
believe that. I saw
that was
a
news for the
million
day.
in a
Nick
day.
Chester. Yeah. People want that Veronica Mars movie, but a million isn't going to cut it.
No.
They need a lot more than that for a Veronica Mars movie.
I'm honestly, it's gonna. Didn't EA at one point do some kind of weird fundraiser thing? I don't think it gained much traction, but there was some talk of it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see one day a Kickstarter for Dead Space or something crop up.
Do you think that they would be upfront about it, or do you think they would just like ask me or some other guy, like, "Hey, kickstart this. Don't tell anybody. We're not going to put anything in paper. Get the money, then we'll give you even more money, and then publish it." Because Vander Caballero, who was on Sub Holmes a couple weeks ago, did Papo and Yo. That's kind of what he did. He got grant money, and then after he had some money, Sony was like, "Oh, well, you've already got some money. Then we don't need to give you as much, and we have more confidence in your product that you're able to get all this grant money on your own." And then he got to make, I think that game cost $1.5 million or something, which he never could have done with just grant money or just Sony. So
Yeah,
could
I don't
be a
know.
way.
It's getting murkier and murkier. There was one, I
Mhm.
think was it Black Isle or some studio, were like, give us some money now so that we can get money from other people later. It's all kinds of weird things. It's like, we don't have a studio now, but if you give us some money, we will make a studio, and then we might do a game after that. All kinds of
Which they
weird
will also
shit.
kickstart.
Yeah. It's like, it's basically Kickstarters for Kickstarters we're running the risk of heading into now.
Mm.
But I'm hearing about all sorts of interesting games that I had interest in, and then it's like, oh, we're doing Kickstarter, and I'm like, that well is drying fast. And as soon as
Yeah.
I hear you're doing Kickstarter, I've started to lose faith in you making a game. If you end up going that route and you pin all your hopes and dreams on that,
Mhm.
it's yeah. I think anyone going hell for leather into it now might be dipping their toe in the water a bit too late. But we'll see.
I have backed one Kickstarter, and that's it.
Which
Um,
one?
Shadowrun Returns,
Someone
and
was asking about that too.
that's in a big way
For a lot of reasons, that's nostalgic. I mean,
Yeah.
I make no argument there. It's the people who, the original guy who wrote one of my favorite settings ever, wanting to make another product in that setting. That's worth $100 to me.
I will segue into a question about that game from Noah Carden, who's Cayman Otaku on Twitter. He wants to know what your thoughts are on the Shadowrun Returns footage. Have you seen it? Because I haven't.
I watched. I think if I'm thinking of the same video that they are, Harebrained Schemes published I guess I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes of gameplay footage with Jordan Weissman, the creator of Shadowrun, and Mitch Giedelman, who's the producer on one of the producers in the game, or the money, the purse string holder, the guy who's making sure they don't go over budget, the producer, I guess you would call him. Anyway, they were talking about the systems, and I think it looks great. It's very complex. When I look at RPG games, particularly like Shadowrun, and I'm thinking like pen and paper games. I think of them from a game master's perspective,
Mhm.
and where Shadowrun Returns is concerned, they're going to be giving the mission building tools as part of the game. And so I'm looking at how they are implementing all of these like little social systems and the way the magic system is working, which is pretty much the way it works in the original game and all of it. And it gets me very, very excited for the idea of making my own stories and putting them in there. And I think it's going to be a great, great game. But limited audience, and I'm glad that they went the Kickstarter route, that they got the funding from that limited audience, because it's not something I think that's going to have really mass appeal. It's a isometric, turn-based combat game with a lot of complexity and intrigue, but I think that the day of that game went away a long time ago, and it's going to be one of those things that word of mouth will sell and so forth. So the fact that it exists at all is great.
Yeah. I wonder if the Fire Emblem. People love that Fire Emblem. That's isometric turn-based. Yeah.
Yeah,
Different.
it's pretty different too. I
Yeah.
mean, Fire Emblem is a straight up high fantasy, whereas Shadowrun is cyberpunk with a little bit of fantasy sprinkled into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Indeed.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Slow Holmes is really desperate to get his questions answered. Let's answer them fast. What would you like to see Nintendo do with Metroid? He said in all caps. And also,
Finger it.
what would you do with $1 million
Finger
you
it.
had to use for something Podtoid related? I think Metroid should go back to just a really, really huge 2D exploration
I
world.
wouldn't mind seeing them Mega Man 9ing it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Be
just do what
pretty
they did there. Just like go totally back to basics.
yeah.
So like
That'd be
the
good.
Super Nintendo, like Super Metroid Basics or Metroid Basics?
Either or, I think.
Mm,
It
yeah.
would be very interesting if they went all the way back to NES. It would be. Oh god, that was my Britishness coming through. People don't say NES in America, do they?
No, they
It was
don't.
always NES and SNES growing up as a Brit, but I've not said that in years. Since coming here, I've always defaulted to SNES, but god, that was. Weird Vietnam flashback, but living in Britain instead of Vietnam.
And for if we had $1 million of Podtoid money, I would want to pay someone really good at making video games to make a really fun Podtoid game. McPixel creator Sosowski, I didn't say his name right. He comes to mind immediately. He'd make a fun game. Vlambeer would make a fun Podtoid game. Way Forward would make a fun Podtoid game. A lot of people would. So
If
that would
I
be
had
great.
the money,
Yeah.
that's a great idea, Jonathan.
Uh,
But I want an idea that will last a lifetime. I want an
Longer than a
idea that
video game?
will, yes, way
Yeah.
longer. It will be my mark on society.
Uh-huh.
I'd pay Willem Dafoe to drink a glass of milk and go, I'm drinking my fucking milk!
$1 million well spent.
Damn right.
I wonder how
That,
much that would cost.
that will be a monument to mankind.
Did you want to answer that one? Those ones, Conrad? I want to cut you
Yeah,
off
if
there.
I had $1 million, I would put it in an IRA.
That's what I. Yeah, you are staying within the parameters of who you are by saying
Yeah.
that, which is good. This might be too big of a question, but
Oh,
I'll do it
God.
anyway because who knows? Never monkey.
Well, the fact of the matter
asks.
is that you can only really put there's a cap as to how much you can put into an IRA annually. So I'd probably put some into some mutual funds. I don't know. I'm not really comfortable with the way the market is right now. Like maybe buy some land. Silver is rising though. Don't buy gold. There's a gold bubble about to happen, but silver may not be a bad metal to invest in.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for years.
Certainly do not invest in tungsten.
CDs, buy those.
Yes, let's buy all the CDs.
Buy some CDs.
Because the idea is, if the CD as a format is dying,
It'll become rare.
we'll have all the last ones.
Yeah.
Get them buy low, sell high.
Another man asked. His name is Nevermonkey on Twitter. Where do you draw the line between objectifying a woman and lustfully? Why do they come to us for these? Anyway, where do you draw the line?
Beacon.
I guess so. Where do you draw the line between objectifying a woman and lustfully admiring her beauty?
The moment you open your mouth.
Surely the latter is only human? It's true, lust is human, but once you stop viewing the person you're lusting after as someone who is experiencing life with the same importance that you are and their feelings and thoughts and everything, once you stop caring how they experience life and only caring about how much you want to rub their body, that's when you get in trouble. So always care about them more than your own horniness, and you'll be fine.
Another good point where you can tell is if you start getting coffee beans and trying to put it in her ear and expecting coffee to just come out of her mouth.
Yeah, you shouldn't expect that.
Don't do that to women. You goddamn MRAs.
42 questions came
Yeah,
in.
I think it's okay to have to lust after someone. It only becomes objectification the moment you express that in any way, shape, or form. So just keep those feelings bottled up deep inside and push them down like a normal human being.
Push them down.
Push them way
Live
down.
life desperately and lost and lonely and confused.
Yes,
That's
it's
how
really
I
the
want
only
everyone.
way to be sure.
Everyone should be like me.
People keep saying I'm the next pope. What? Did you already announce this, Jim?
No!
Because everyone's like, "Oh, congratulations! I've become the new pope,
It's
Jonathan."
this is a bad sign. This means the show
Brilliant.
has become predictable.
I guess so.
Just,
Or they're
just
really
irrelevant. I mean, that was the point of it anyway. I mean, just like any noble cause, like a charity who looking for a cure for a disease, or an organization that wants to stop human trafficking. The goal of any kind of organization like that should be to put itself out of business. And Podtoid is in the same vein as those organizations, in that the end goal is eventually we won't be needed anymore because you'll all be doing it yourselves, and the world will be governing itself and policing itself and congratulating Jonathan Holmes for anyone's achievement in life. So it is with a humble heart that this will be the last Podtoid we ever record.
It's over?
No. I don't care if it's the same thing every week. It makes me happy.
Yeah,
I'm right.
Yeah. This will probably be the last one, unless you guys want to do more. It's up to you, but I'm guessing it'll be Frank Margellia, who is Gem on Twitter, asks, "How is Jim's novel going? Did he ever let the slit? What? Will he ever let slip its plot summary?"
No.
No. Are you still working on the novel?
No.
Are you gonna again?
I've still got the novel, but unfortunately, like 1.5 million projects have taken precedence.
Yeah.
That was always a long-term thing I was doing in my spare time. Like I never had an end goal for it. It was just something to occupy my mind, and I've got it all laid out in my head, but unfortunately I don't have the spare time to stick around with it. But that doesn't mean I've not got some ambitious projects in fiction and non-fiction in the works.
That's fun. So something is happening. It's at the end of the show. I talk worse and worse. Did you want to do more questions, or should we wrap it up with our things?
Let's do one more.
Okay. Let's see.
Making a
It's a
good
kind of
one.
a strange question. Yeah. Okay. I'll try.
The future depends on you.
Tremulant asks, "Can you be a progressive feminist against the objectification?" Why is everyone asking us?
Why are we the arbiters of this?
Yeah. Can you be a progressive feminist against the objectification of women and still enjoy and watch pornography? Asks Tremulant _.
As long as you never ever express it and keep it all welled up deep inside, it's okay. This is my new strategy. This is my new strategy. The way we're going to solve this problem is by nobody ever talking about it ever again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me,
for me, that's how we're going to solve this problem for me.
I think that's the way to do it. Objectification is just your dirty, disgusting little secret. And you know you are disgusting. And so long as you're comfortable in that, I think we'll be okay.
Some people say that when women want to express themselves sexually and not be repressed, and they ask a man or a woman or whoever to appreciate it, then it's okay as long as it's asked for.
It's not okay.
And then other people say that simply by taking on that mental attitude and that perspective.
Who says this?
Who says what?
Who says this? This thing that you're saying. Who says it?
Which one? The second one or the first one?
The second one.
The second one that I hadn't finished saying yet was said by a girl I knew whose name I won't repeat because she stalked me and wrote a 10-page rhyming poem about how much she loved me. And that was trouble.
This is even better. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, she did write it, and she gave it to me at a McDonald's and was like, "Read this now." And it's like, "Jonathan Holmes, always on my mind. thinking about you and all the things we will find. And I'm like, this is really, and then it just goes on like that. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know if we should talk that much. She did some stuff that night. Anyway, I was talking about feminism, guys, and how that particular person.
I'm more interested in McDonald's poetry.
Yeah, maybe next time. The show's almost over. I
Yeah,
can't get into a
I
big
know.
story about my 10-page rhyming poem stalker now. Not now. I'll talk about feminism later too. We did it, guys.
I don't know why we're the, like you say,
Yeah.
like we're now the arbiters of this.
It seems weird to me.
I think I speak for us all when I say we're pretty clueless and frightened
We
individuals.
have no answers, and we're afraid of this.
Yeah. I just try and be good.
Yeah, we just don't want. We just want to be left alone.
I want to be a good person.
Yes.
Yeah.
and anything I will say on this subject will make me a bad person to someone.
Yeah, that's the thing. But we are, in some people's minds, mature, well thought out. We think out our perspectives. We are okay
They
with
are not
admitting
paying
when we're
attention.
wrong. We've reviewed their favorite video games, so we know what we're talking about when it comes to sexism.
Can we not go back to contributes?
Did I say that?
Simpler times, happier
Yeah,
times,
indeed.
cummier times.
Oh, I thought you said contributes, but you said cum tributes.
That's what I said earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing, or are you just making that up?
I'll show you some videos.
No.
Not of
I don't
me,
know how you would.
of anonymous strangers
Oh, that's not weird.
on X Hamster.
X Hamster?
Yes.
Is that a website?
Oh yes, it is.
Oh God.
Is it a .org or?
Look it up when you're next in the office.
I don't know if I will.
Show your friends.
I don't. It's got the sense that I shouldn't if it's.
What are you
got...
doing this week, Jonathan?
Oh, we just posted the rerun of Last Sunday Sup Holmes with Aaron Robinson. At least I think we did.
We did.
Should be up. Oh, good. It's on iTunes. It's on YouTube. It was a really interesting conversation. I'm really flattered that Erin took the time out of her very busy schedule to take a chance on being on this weird show, and she was very interesting. She's taught in Sweden. They were just like, go to Sweden, and she didn't even know what kind of currency they use there. She's like, okay, guess I'm going to Sweden, and taught 50-odd college students how to develop games. And this is off of just learning how to make games herself with Adventure Game Studio, I think it's called. The kind of do-it-yourself adventure game point-and-click dev kit. And now she's making a game called Gravity Ghost, which is going to come out this year. And it's got hand-drawn graphics. It's a terraforming 2D platformer. It looks really fun. So she was great. She reminds me of that woman who's on Mad Men, except like brilliant and thinks about video games all the time. What's her name again? Red-haired McGee or something? And this Sunday we have Edmund McMillan on.
Oh my gosh! Finally,
yeah,
that's right.
I gotta email him to remind
He's
him.
gonna get out of bed before 2.
He might. He said he would. He might change his mind, but he really wants to talk about Mugenics. And I'm going to ask him about Super Meat Boy, the game, which he announced, I think, last April for iDevices. I haven't seen anything about that, but I want to know if that still exists. And also, Binding of Isaac Rebirth. We haven't heard anything about it in a little bit. I want to see if it's coming out on all the consoles I want it on, which is like all the consoles. So that'll be fun. Edmund McMillan of Team Meat and that other company. What was that other one we made Gish with? He's been making games for a long time. He also made, I think he made an animated condom commercial with real penis at some point. Speaking of which, we just posted a art blog on Destructoid showing off a lot of the production art and finished art from Teenage Pokemon, which just wrapped its first very short season. And there is a penis in there, I think, or at least a bulge. And it's poking into Jim as Ditto with the sunglasses on. It's a very cute
I
picture.
like how it's not Ditto anymore. It's
Ditto.
Jim as Ditto.
It is, the point is, it's you. It's you, that Ditto. And that Ditto might be on a t-shirt. Someone's designing t-shirts Actually, my understanding is there are already 10 out in the wild. A man, he's Muck You on Twitter. He got a screen printer and made 10 Ditto's Gotta Have a
I
t-shirts.
saw a photo of one, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing that might happen. That's fun. We might even sell some shirts based on the series on Destructoid, so there'll be a post about that later if that's going to happen. And of course, please watch the last episode of Teenage Pokemon Season 1. It's called Pack Special. It is the one I think is the best. It's moved some people to tears, believe it or not, unless they're lying to me, which would be a weird lie. But they weren't even addressing me directly. They're just commenting about it on YouTube, and they're like, I seriously teared up at part of that. So yeah, it's a weird show. Maybe you'll like it.
I teared up at the Ditto one.
I just got an email from Sean Velasco of Yacht Club Games, who's making video games that I think are great. And he's like, dude, Jim Sterling is Ditto. I peed. Like, you are making something good. Why are you watching Jim Sterling as Ditto and peeing? But he did. So yeah, people are watching that. That's weird. Thank you for watching it, everyone who did. And if you haven't seen it yet, just please check it out. For me, I want to make more. We're talking to Machinima next week, and the more views we get, the more chances we'll have of making more. And we'll have big plans. Yeah. Get you.
Who's their new guy there? Because you said there's a new concept. You have to talk to me about it, because I've had an idea for a show that would probably work best there. It's all location, these video things. Some things work best on Detoid, some on the Escapers, some on Machinima, some elsewhere.
I'll be talking to him.
It's all a risk.
I will bring that up with the guy. We have a phone conference. Season 2 of Teenage Pokemon, if we can make it. I have things planned. Max Scoville and Anthony Carboni and maybe even Adam Sessler are going to get involved. Really much bigger stuff. Like the first season I played it a little bit safe, and this season I'm just going to go balls out because it'll probably be my last season, so might as well try. Anyway, that's enough out of me. What about you guys? What are you doing?
Got a new episode of Office Chat that'll be going up here shortly. That's in it we talk about the Bros Before Hosts thing a bit, and that whole mess, and we talk about I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to actually watch it to remember what we talked about. So, but that's going on. Destructoid probably about the same time this hits. And there's a new question video where people responded to the question is whether or not DRM is a factor that you consider when you're buying games. Interesting that the commenters on that, a lot more people said that they really do think about it than I expected. And it's nice to see that is a consideration. I don't think it's stopping that many people from actually buying the games when it's intrusive and bad, but at least you're thinking about it, and that's something. And so you can hear what some of the other Destructoid staff people had to say about that in that video. And I think that's it right now for me. I got a couple of things that I'm still cooking up, and oh gosh, we don't have time to do my Willem Dafoe movie pitch. Shucks, we'll have to save it for next week. This is totally not because I wasn't prepared.
I just love that you would even imagine needing to be prepared for Podtoid.
I do, because I'm not as quick on the uptake sometimes as you are. And so I like to have a plan going in. And like the couple of things I have are just stupid enough to make a Willem Dafoe movie pitch out of. But it needs one more element. So, yeah.
Well, look forward to that next week.
There you go. I'm going to build it up even more, so it can be even more of a crushing disappointment when we finally do it.
That's how Podtoid works. What have I done? Over on Destructoid.com, I wrote an article called God of War Bros Before Hoes, which was all about that whole thing, the Bros Before Hoes trophy in God of War, but more importantly, talking about the impact that trophies and achievements can have on gameplay and presentation, and also the presentation of heroes and anti-heroes with dubious morals and stuff. And I thought it was quite an interesting little article. It's some stuff that's been on my mind for a while, and this was a good venue for it. So I know some people just wrote the whole thing of, just a dumb controversy, but even in no matter how dumb you think a controversy is, I like to think there's always non-dumb stuff you can learn from it. So it's not always worth your time to just ignore stuff.
Yeah, well, my problem with the controversy was never that the controversy happened. I was fine with that. It was the manner in which we came to the conclusion that this was misogynistic. Like, it just didn't. Yeah, I'm fine with people pointing out that it's misogynistic, but getting the particulars of the information wrong really bugged me. I don't know why that's such a big deal to me.
Well, you are detail focused. This is why you're good at your job.
You're
You
the
care.
man that plans for Podtoid.
That's true.
I think that explains it.
Fair point.
But that's that. Also this week coming up, if you listen to us on iTunes the day we upload this, then it'll be tomorrow morning. But if you're one of the guys that listen to it on Thursday, it will be today. The Lego City Undercover review will be up. So that's Thursday, March 14th. Review for Lego City Undercover. I think that's all I really did on Destructoid this week. I've been doing a lot of review stuff behind the scenes for next week and whatnot. Over on the Escapist, escapistmagazine.com, my new Jimquisition was up. It's simply called Sim Shitty. It's proving itself to be probably my second most popular video I've done next to the Bud Dwyer episode. A lot of people liked that one, so thank you for people that watch Jimquisition and share that and everything. Almost at the 100th episode of that. I'm getting all of my things in preparation for a new look and a new thing. Nothing majorly dramatic, but some interesting stuff. And also Movie Defense Force will be out this week. That's another Escapist show I do. Defending an Uwe Boll film. When I teased that on Twitter, I had a lot of people already angry at me.
I watched Blood Rain last night.
Yeah? What do you think? Fair enough.